Sean.
Mike?
What is this, a crossover episode? Yowza, yowza, bobowza.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to What Is This, a Crossover episode, a BoJack Horseman podcast starring the Squid Boys. I'm Mike, one half of the Squid Boys, and with me is the other half of the Squid Boys, Sean. Hello, Sean.
Hi, Mike. I am the other half of the Squid Boys. Soon to be the orphaned Squid Boys, because I don't know what the fuck we're going to do after season 3.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so I will say this is completely unrelated to the BoJack show, but we did get an email, a Squid Game email, because they're apparently Netflix is doing like an all-star reality show.
Okay.
Like a Real World Road Rules the Challenge type of thing with reality stars from all their other shows, and Trey and Lorenzo are on it.
Oh, we might have to cover that.
Yeah, it's specifically because Lorenzo is on it, right?
Yeah.
And it was our friend who was in the sauna with Lorenzo.
Oh my god.
That emailed us and was like, "Hey, did you know this show's happening?" And I was like, "What?"
What?
So, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Oh,
Anyway, this is a
that's pretty
BoJack
big.
show.
Yeah, I love BoJack Horseman. I'm very excited to talk about BoJack Horseman. I think that it's a great show with a lot to offer in terms of conversation. Anyways, the real reason that I'm calling is we talked about How I Met Your Mother for like 40 minutes last week, and we talked about it for 20 minutes before we started the day.
It was not 20 minutes.
I just want to update the audience. You are now a fan of the podcast.
I've been listening to How We Made Your Mother, and yes, I'm enjoying my time with it. I think it's.
Don't think that. Oh, is that what it's called? I forgot How We Made Your Mother.
I Made Your Mother, yeah. Or How We Made Your Mother is what it's called.
I forgot that's what it's called.
Yeah, that's a pretty weird name. Although, I do like they do the bonus episodes, and they call the bonus episode General Questions, and they go, General Questions? And I was like, okay.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Did you like how I tied this bit into this episode of BoJack by doing the whole, anyways, the reason I'm calling?
Yes,
like
a
that?
very
Okay.
yes, a very BoJack Horseman joke from you. This episode
thank
that
you.
Sean's referring to, Thoughts and Prayers, an 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb. A mass shooting at a mall creates a PR nightmare for Princess Carolyn. BoJack takes Hollyhock to visit his estranged mother. Sean, what did you just maybe some overarching thoughts on this episode?
I thought, great. Beautiful, 10 out of 10. I mean, not like, I shouldn't say 10 out of 10 because this show has some real 10 out of 10s. It's like a 9 out of 10.
Right.
It's a great episode without being one of those episodes that you're like, fuck after, you know? Even though there are some fuck moments in the episode. I think like the comedy is on point. Like we talked last time about that episode's like comedy not totally hitting for us. And I think this hit on all levels for me. I thought that the stuff with BoJack's mother was like the most interested I've been in BoJack in a while, outside of just being like, oh, look at the funny horseman screw up his life. Like, oh, this is an aspect to him that we don't really get to see a lot of. I think the Mr. Peanut Butter and Diane stuff continues to be interesting. And, you know, not a whole lot of Princess Carolyn, which I think after last time I'm okay with.
Well, what is there for Princess Carolyn, though, is something the show does extremely well. And it's crazy because this episode came out in 2017, but, you know, they take something, a political hot topic, and say some real things about it while also making it funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They did that with Brat Brat Pew Pew in the previous season about, you know, the hot topic of abortion. And now we're on the hot topic of mass shootings and gun control. And
which it's great to know that it's been, what, like 8 years since this came out, and we've totally solved it.
Yeah. Well, in this world, they do solve it in a hilarious manner.
Well, they solve it in one
hate
state.
women more than we love guns.
I did notice they solve it in one state, though. So we're going to have to keep an eye out on what happens in the rest of the country.
Yeah, but that's the only state we care about for these purposes. So
I guess that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That is a great line, though.
Yeah, just an incredible moment. So we like this episode. Our man Edvis, who's the reviewer for What Is This, a Crossover episode, Edvis 1997, gives this one a 9 out of 10.
Okay, good.
And as always, the subject is 9. He always puts the star number in the subject.
Yep.
And it says, very common idea about guns and killing incidents.
What? Wait.
Very common idea about guns and killing incidents. It's just a very common idea.
Huh?
And I want you to know that people at this point, and probably because of the popularity of our show, but people are downvoting Edvis like crazy every week now. Like, the amount of downvotes Edvis gets is insane. I can't even explain that phenomenon. The only ones that get more downvotes are ones that are clearly like, man, there are some people did not like this episode. There's a couple 1-stars here that got some downvotes. Here's one. Why did they have to make it political?
Oh, Jesus.
Awful episode. They made it so political and biased. Worst of all, I love this show, but this is crap.
I hate people, dude. I hate people so much.
All right.
Very common idea about guns and killing incidents.
Yeah, Edvis,
Very common idea.
Say what you want about Edvis. He doesn't miss.
I don't know if I don't know. Some people might not agree with that. I don't. Is he like?
It's a very common idea, Sean.
Are his reviews like are they supposed to be like poetry? Do you think?
No. I also don't think like you liked how matter of fact I was with that.
Yeah.
I also don't think that, although it may seem that way, that Edvis's comment was a condemnation of the episode because he gave it a 9.
No. I don't think so. I don't think so either.
It's just a very common idea about gun incidents, killing incidents.
Yeah, I don't know. What an interesting brain. I'd like to study it.
So this episode aired originally on September 8th, 2017, and we've covered that day. So I figured, what's the harm in moving 3 days forward to September 11th, 2017?
Oh my god.
And on September 11th, 2017, Hurricane Irma leaves 7 million U.S. homes without power in Florida and Georgia.
Oh boy!
Shout outs to Irma.
I just want to say, God, I've really. They're just. I need there to not be any mass gun casualties.
Well, we'll see. I got some more to read. Norwegian conservative Prime Minister Erna Solberg, heading a right-wing coalition, claims victory in Norway's general election. 1 million march on this state's National Day in Barcelona in support of independence for Catalonia. Catalonia Independence March.
I'm going to date the episode really quick. When you started saying 1 million, all I could think of is like, 1 million men think they can fight a bear.
Or the real challenge, me versus 100 big titty Latinas. Who's going to win?
Whoa.
Who's going to win there? What? Everybody's asking about gorillas and shit. I want to know if I can beat 100 big titty Latinas. Spoilers. I'm losing, Sean. I'm going to lose.
I can't. What the fuck? That was so unexpected. Oh, God. What else happened on that day?
The UN imposes new export sanctions on North Korea.
Oh, okay.
J.P. Donlevy, American novelist known for Ginger Man and Onion Eaters, dies at 91.
That's good. Ginger Man has to be I think that has to be offensive. That book can't be.
It's probably about you. Peter
It's
Hall,
probably about me.
English stage, film, and opera director known for the Royal Shakespeare Company and a National Theatre director himself, dies at age 86.
Man.
And then
sucks.
finally, a mass... No, I'm just kidding. Finally, number one on the music charts in both the U.S. and the U.K., Look What You Made Me Do by Taylor Swift.
You know what? I feel like not one that has had as much staying power.
Yeah. That song?
I feel like, yeah. No, not Taylor Swift.
I'll say out of, all of the 9/11s that have happened, pretty tame. I think it's fair to say it's a pretty tame 9/11.
It is. It is a pretty tame 9/11. I've seen worse.
Yeah, yeah, as if I. As if I, Sean.
Never forget.
All right, enough tomfoolery. Are you ready to get in this episode?
Yes, we will be completely serious, as we always are, when discussing BoJack Horseman.
So this episode opens with a intern of some type interrupting Lenny Turtletop to tell him, hey, there's been a mass shooting. And Lenny's like, well, where? And he says, a town outside Tampa called. And he's like, no, I don't care about the where. I mean, like, what's the location? Is it a pharmacy, a haberdashery? And it's a shopping mall. And Lenny's upset because Mistaken, the new movie starring Courtney Portnoy, has a third act revolving around shooting people in a mall. What are we supposed to do now? Not release the movie? I'm sick and tired of real-life gun violence getting in the way of us telling stories that glamorize gun violence.
God.
And this, I mean, there's nothing metaphoric about all this. This is all very heavy-handed on purpose, and I think they do an amazing job of painting just how ridiculous this is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's insane. I have two notes.
Okay.
The first one being, I don't know if... So there was I don't remember what year, whenever the Obi-Wan show came out.
Okay.
Like a week before the show came out.
We all remember that well, Obi-Wan,
There was a shooting at a school, and the Obi-Wan show opens with a bunch of kids during Order 66. And so the opening of that show, when it released, I don't know if it's still there, but it opened with a content warning.
Really?
Because the opening of the show, I mean, it's the opening of that show is a bunch of kids training in the Jedi Temple, and then the door bursts open and clone troopers come in and start shooting. So, it was a there was a strange time, just this this topic of how it intersects with media, right? Like seeing it go so far as to like putting a warning in front of something like Star Wars, which tries to,
very
not
very
acknowledge
unlike
anything
our real
serious.
Star Wars, right?
Yeah, it tries not to really acknowledge the real world,
Right. Yeah.
So that was one thing that I thought about while watching this. The other thing I thought about while watching this is, I feel like I heard Patton Oswalt at least 6 times this episode as different characters.
Well, he plays Chomsky. According
Which is that character's name actually Chomsky? Because I thought that was a joke.
No, his name's Chomsky.
That's weird.
He's not listed as any other characters.
I thought I heard him later on. Okay, now I'm really... Where does it say that his name was Chomsky?
On IMDb. It says he voices Chomsky / nurse.
Okay, so the two characters. So maybe those are the two characters I heard him playing as.
Yeah.
I don't know that the character's name is actually Chomsky. I'm pretty sure that's a joke.
I mean, that's what he's listed as in IMDb.
That's like a... So because they're talking about, like, that's the scene still. So just moving along a little bit, they're talking about, like, oh, you know, I'm sick and tired of real life gun violence getting in the way of us telling stories that glorify gun violence. And then they start talking about just like America and its obsession with guns or whatever. And the assistant goes off on like kind of a leftist like spiel about like, oh, you know, our obsession with guns and how, you know, we are a nation founded on gun violence, essentially, when you think about it through the perspective of the revolution. And then he goes, all right, Mr. Chomsky. And I could have, I interpreted that as a joke saying, you know, okay, Noam Chomsky, who's like a very famous like leftist like sociologist.
Yeah, I mean that might have been the joke, but I'm just telling you that's what he's listed as in IMDb. That's all.
No, yeah. I was explaining why I thought that was just a joke name, and I didn't really think that was his actual name. But yes. Anyways, that was a note I made, is because I actually really liked that joke. I thought that joke was a lot of fun. It was really funny. I liked. All right, Mr. Chomsky.
After that, we got to the opening, and then we have Hollyhock and Bojack, and she's like, oh, wow, my mom, Mercedes-Benz Brown, or whatever the name is. And he's like, yep, that's totally real. And 2 days later, he's like, hey, I lied to you about this. She's not real, but I do want to help you find your mother. You know, I want to, like, you to hang around a little bit. And then he talks about how mothers aren't great and references his own mother. And she goes, oh, she sounds like a real character. I'd love to meet her. And he's like, you can't because she's dead. And then it's like 15 minutes later. Yeah, I lied to you about my mom being dead. Like, he can't stop lying to her even though he doesn't want to lie to her.
Yeah, I actually was like, you know, a lot of progress for Bojack.
Yeah, you know, the fact that he's coming clean about it so quickly, yes, I agree. It's
really quickly. I thought this would be like a whole thing where he's like, oh, I gotta hire Todd to wear a dress and pretend to be like this, you know, and like really just take it to the max. And it's like, no, he just is like, nope, I lied to you. Sorry.
I do like that he thinks the facility he put his mother in is called Winter's Bone. I do like that joke, which is a movie starring what's her name? Katniss Everdeen.
Jennifer Lawrence?
Jennifer Lawrence, yeah. It's like it was before Hunger Games. It was one of her earlier movies that she got a lot of critical acclaim for being in. And it was around this time too, so which is why it's referenced. But anyway, we cut to the studio area where we have Princess Carolyn, Lenny Turtletop, Courtney Portnoy, her agent, I'm assuming, or publicist, and then Todd is revealed to be there later. And they watch a scene from Mistaken, and it's, you know, violence, and they're realizing that's not good with, you know, what's going on with the mass shooting. And they set a Google alert for mass shooting. We can't keep getting caught off guard.
We took... I don't know why that's such a Dwight quote for me for some reason. Yeah. I just say that's such a we can't let the mass shooting catch us off guard. Like I don't know.
It's funny because they then start talking about, you know, how it is affecting them in a very self-centered way, but then Courtney Portnoy ends it with, my thoughts and prayers to the victims and their families. And everybody goes, of course, thoughts and prayers. Yeah. Which at the time, like, I don't think you can get caught dead saying thoughts and prayers now on Twitter or whatever.
I don't know, dude. But they fucking still do it. I feel like I've seen it. I saw it like a week ago. I don't know.
Well, okay, here's the difference, I guess. Back then, everybody said it.
Yeah,
like,
okay, that's
true. It didn't matter what side of the political spectrum you were on. And now there's only a certain type of person that will still say thoughts and prayers.
That's true.
And this episode really lampoons the whole thoughts and because it's such an afterthought when they say, thoughts and prayers, you know.
Yeah. It's such a like meaningless thing.
Right. It truly is. And as they're talking, there is a shootout at the county fair. Or there's a shootout at the movie theater, and they're like, oh, we should probably lose the movie theater shootout. But at least we still have the county fair. And then it's like, bzz, oh, dear.
This is a sad day.
Yeah. And then Princess Carolyn takes a call from Bojack, who she has not heard from since he returned from Michigan.
Yeah, I realized that as they were talking. It's been a long time.
Yeah. And he says a lot of really nice things, that he was an awful boyfriend, and an awful client, and an awful friend. And he spent some time away, and he realized how special she is to him. And she's like, wow, Bojack. And then he does the Sean bit that Sean did. Anyway, the real reason I called.
I don't know why that fucking made me laugh so hard. Like, there's something that it caught me off guard, because the first half of it I was like, man, like I could kind of see Bojack like doing this. Like actually coming a little bit clean with her,
right? Because they kind of play like it's not the Bojack chords where something really terrible happens, but it's like this kind of uplifting like little thing that's playing while he's saying it, and you're like, wow, this is really nice. And then he's like, anyway, so the real reason I called.
But it doesn't feel like undercut or anything. It's like, yeah, no, okay, wait, that makes sense.
Yeah. He wants to know the name of the place where Princess Carolyn helped him put his mother, and it's called Walnut Springs. And then he hangs up on her, calls her right back, and he's like, hey, I didn't feel like I struck the right tone in the last phone call. I really am sorry. And the most important thing is, you know how dedicated I am to making things right again. And she's like, thank you. He goes, anyway, the real reason I'm calling is because there's multiple Walnut Springses in the SoCal area.
I really want to find a way to make that work in my everyday life. Anyways, the real reason I'm calling is might become my new thing. Like when the Barbie movie came out and everyone was like, man, I'm fucking Ken. I'm Ken.
Yeah.
I think I might be very specifically the BoJack Horseman who calls somebody, says something really meaningful, and then goes, anyways, the reason I'm calling is.
Yeah, I want that for you, Sean. I think you should try to work on that.
Yeah. And again, very specifically that version of BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, well, I heard you want to be the version that's on a boat docked in someone's driveway. That's what I heard.
I actually, wait, hang on. No. At first I was like, man, boat docked in somebody's driveway actually does seem kind of rad.
I heard you want something specific that happens when that boat is.
Yeah, however, there is something that happens there that I really don't want.
Yeah, no, you don't want that. Princess Carolyn walks back into the conference room, and I almost said Sean. Todd is doing.
I am quite like him.
Yes, you guys are very similar. He has a hilarious drawing. He's trying to pitch how to curtail the gun violence, and he goes, "I'm just saying, if people have the right pumped up kicks, then maybe they can outrun the bullets." Which is, of course, a hilarious reference to the song Pumped Up Kicks by Foster the People.
He also might be onto something.
He might be. If you pump up your kicks, you could maybe outrun the bullets. And so they decide to pivot this movie's marketing and such to be about that it's not about the gun violence, it's about women empowerment. Because, they want to pivot it to be like, hey, this is like, she's a woman taking control of her life as opposed to like a crazy man shooting up a school, right?
Yeah.
So we cut to Girl Crush, where Diane has a really hard time answering her phone. And there's a lot of like public access fucking radio jokes with her ringtone, Yeah. I don't even know what it's from, but it's like these jokes are too over my head. But Princess Carolyn's calling her, and she wants her to write a glowing feature about Courtney Portnoy and the movie, and about how it's empowering for women. And she goes, and this is where she starts to do. You actually messaged me while you were watching this episode, and you said, Jesus, the tongue twister. Because this is what I've referenced.
Insane.
this is what I've referenced in previous episodes. They really started writing these for Sedaris, and she does not like it, but they made her do it.
Yeah.
And it's that one in particular is pretty insane. And she at the end of it, she goes, "That's how it's done," and that almost makes me feel like it was an improv.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that wasn't in it. Like she was just like, "That's how it's done," right?
Like
and
I did it. I nailed it.
Or that's how you do it, folks. That's what she says. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to point out they end up at Walnut Springs, and the sign out for Walnut Springs, it has one of those like little marquee signs. It says, "Beware autumn, the fall season." Because they're old and they fall over.
Yeah.
And this place is pretty run down and rugged. It's not a place you probably want to leave your mom typically, especially if you have money like BoJack Horseman.
But BoJack has a special relationship.
Well, right, and he goes into this saying, "Hey, listen, my mom wasn't very great, so I don't feel guilty." And we get a flashback to BoJack in a football uniform, and his mom says some really fucked up shit to him.
There's actually there's a few things here I had questions about. Actually,
okay.
Did we know previously that BoJack's father was a writer?
I don't know if they've revealed that or not yet. I knew BoJack's father was a writer, but I don't remember if they've talked about that or not.
I remember being kind of caught off guard when she says, like, if you want to, if you're looking for somebody to beat you down or whatever, smack you around or whatever, then just go tell your father that his prose is derivative and dry or whatever. That's
go read one of your father's manuscripts and tell him his prose is pedestrian and derivative. Works for me every time.
Yeah. So that was one thing where like I both was like, oh, I don't think I knew that his father was a writer. And second of all, maybe I just have forgotten. I don't know if they ever. Did they like mention that his father beat his mother before?
No, not specifically. I don't think. I will tell you, we will learn more about BoJack's father in the coming.
I figured.
Episodes. So these aren't things that stay mysteries, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because we've spent more time with his mother. Because we've had some more modern flashbacks to when like Horsing Around was going on, where he spent time with his mother and his father. We don't have that. So we know a little bit more about Beatrice than we do. Is his dad's name Butterscotch? What's his dad's name?
I don't remember.
Fuck, I don't remember his dad's name. It's some stupid horse name.
Whoa.
You heard me. It's not Butterscotch. It's something. But we flash back to present time, and it seems that Beatrice does not remember BoJack, due to what are probably dementia type things going on. She calls him Henrietta.
Mm-hmm.
And BoJack's like, no, this is what she does. This is like when she tried to not recognize me after my shaky choir solo in the 8th grade.
Oh my God. This fucking joke is insane.
I had to get a ride home with the pianist who liked to tickle a lot more than the ivories. And when I made it home unscathed, she said, "Huh, I guess no one wants you."
My jaw was on the floor. First of all, incredible joke. Second of all, holy shit.
Yeah.
Henrietta.
Yeah.
Do we know somebody named Henrietta that maybe she thinks BoJack is?
No.
Okay.
Currently, we do not know someone named Henrietta.
Mm-hmm. I assume that will be relevant at some point. I don't think that's just a random name. I cannot
confirm nor deny the presence of a real person named Henrietta. It could be a real person. It could just be the dementia talking.
I think it's interesting that... I think it's interesting that she thinks, at least my reading of it was, she thinks that he is a woman.
Not just a woman, but there's a context clue here where she says, "You're not paid to make idle conversation."
Okay.
So not just a woman, but maybe some hired help, she thinks Bojack is.
Yeah.
And then she says to Hollyhock, "Oh, it's you."
Yeah.
Which is pretty interesting too. Right?
Yeah. I have no idea. Very interesting. I have no idea.
Is it just the ramblings of someone who has dementia, or is it are there real things to this? She demands Henrietta go get some orange juice, and Hollyhock's like, "Yeah, Bojack, go get us some orange juice." We cut to the meetup between Diane and Courtney Portnoy outside the Fancy Koi restaurant, and Diane says, "Yeah, you're normal. You put your pants on one leg at a time." And she goes, "Well, I step into my pants one leg at a time. Then my trouser maidens lift the legs simultaneously to avoid wrinklage."
I mean, everybody understands that, right?
Right. Then there's is this guy a badger? Is that?
Oh,
I'm assuming he's a badger because that would make sense. Badgering them.
Yeah.
But he says, "Hey, konnichiwa, Princess Mulan."
A little more than badgering.
Which is insane.
And not the most insane thing that he's going to say, somehow.
That's true. And this is portraying, unfortunately, what a lot of women have to deal with going out in public, fucking freaks like this guy, harassing them. And he says, "Maybe I could put something in that sweet mouth of yours so you don't have to talk so much." Which is like, whoa, dude.
What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, I know what you're talking about. But, dude, what the shit?
So then Courtney Portnoy pulls a gun out of her purse on him.
Yeah, good.
Good. And he goes, "Whoa, I was just joking. I don't want any trouble." And she's like, "Tell your story, walk it." And Diane's freaking out. She's like, "You just pulled the gun out?" And she's like, "I don't know. My instincts just kicked in." And she talks about how in the movie she felt like it was so empowering to have a gun, so she just kind of kept one, and now she has a gun. And Diane's kind of like, she says, "You want to hold it?" And Diane holds it, and you can feel the power of it. And they go to a shooting range that Courtney Portnoy has in her house, and Diane fires a gun for the first time, and she's like, "Oh," and you can tell she's like, "What the fuck? This is awesome." We're starting along a path here. We cut back to the nursing home where Bojack has the orange juice, and she does say, "I can't believe you came back," to Hollyhock. And Hollyhock goes, "Who, me or Bojack?" And she goes, "You look just like him." And she's like, "Yeah, people tell me that." And this is where Patton Oswalt, I believe, comes up and goes,
again.
He sneaks up out of nowhere to, he did it on purpose as a symbol for the alarming creep of dementia.
Yeah, fucking insane.
I don't mean to laugh so hard at dementia, but come on, that's
no, it's a good joke. It's a good bit.
Yeah. He's saying that this is the most responsive she's been in weeks, and that you and your daughter should visit. And Bojack's like, "I don't think so." He makes a Terrence Malick joke, and the guy's like, "She won't last another 10 years." And he's like, "Okay, well, good. See you later, Mom." But Hollyhock convinces him, "Hey, we need to come back." And then Bojack drinks both cups of orange juice in front of her and slams
fucking
them
crazy
down.
Really good joke. Really good.
He's so petty because she goes, "Where's my orange juice, slag?"
Yeah, that's really fucking good.
Yeah. Just incredible work by Bojack. The doctor looks super uncomfortable when he does this. We cut to Mr. Peanut's house where they're fracking. Mr. Peanut kind of brings up "Hey, why you're holding a gun?" And she's like, "Oh my God, have I been holding this the whole time? Did I rob a gas station?"
Real quick follow-up. Why are you holding a gun? What a great fucking joke.
They kind of argue a bit about the gun a little bit here. And oh wait, is that at this point they argue about the gun, or is that later?
They kind of talk about just like, "Oh,
no, they don't argue here. They argue
cool
later. They argue later where he's like, "I don't like guns," because she hasn't written the article yet.
Yeah.
So this is where she writes the article, and it's about women empowerment through owning a handgun. And it quickly rises up the charts of Girl Crush. And it talks a lot about how, like, women have to be uncomfortable in public because men are fucking weirdos, and it shows different men whistling at women and coming up and giving awkward shoulder massages. One of the articles on there is Liam Hemsworth's penis outline, which I think is really funny. Like, one of the articles on, like, the top 5. Liam Hemsworth's penis outline. That's just an article they have.
I mean, it's a good article. I've read it.
Yeah. So yeah, she writes this article, and there's this quick like montage, like going like as it rises to the top and showing that stuff, and everybody's like applauding her, and she's not used to that kind of recognition. I feel like in this, at least in this work environment.
Absolutely.
We're back at Walnut Springs, where now the Marquis says trick or treatment.
Yep.
And she's Beatrice is showing Hollyhock a kind of
the pictures.
A picture album, and she goes, "There's Polio Larry."
Yeah. Oh, what a crazy name.
And Bojack goes, "Yep, she sure remembers all the important people." And then she points at a picture of young Bojack and goes, "There's my brother, Cracker Jack." And he's like, "That's not Cracker Jack, that's me."
Yeah.
30 seconds after the picture was taken, you yelled at me for getting ice cream on my shorts. She says, "No ice cream for me. I want to watch a figure." And he goes, "Yeah, you want to look pretty when death comes to visit." He just like cannot be nice to his mother for any reason, you know?
Well, it's great. She also has a line talking about like one of her like friends, where she says that they got into a fight. She told the supper club that her friend's son was gay.
Yeah. And then she has a picture of her in her debutante ball gown, and Hollyhock's like, "Oh, you were so beautiful." And she goes, "You could be thin too. Just go easy on the sweets. And just when you go somewhere, don't walk a gallop." And Hollyhock's like, "Ice cold, Grammy Graham." And I want you to remember that part of the conversation for later episodes. The hey, you could lose some weight conversation with Hollyhock, because it's somewhat important. We cut to morning time Hollywood with our typical Orion Seacrest type and Billy Bush type.
Yeah.
And this was around the time Billy Bush. Do you know what I'm going to reference here?
What? Yeah. What was it? What was it, Mike? What happened?
Here, I pulled up William Hall Bush's Wikipedia article here.
What happened?
Bush's tenure on the Today Show was short-lived, as in October 2016, during the presidential election, he became the subject of controversy when the 2005 Access Hollywood recording surfaced of him and presidential candidate Donald Trump having a lewd conversation. Do you remember what he said, Sean?
I've never been able to forget.
You want to? Maybe people don't know. Do you want to?
I don't want to.
Wait, okay. In all seriousness, I don't remember exactly what Billy Bush said. I do remember what Donald Trump said.
Yeah,
because this is the grab him by the pussy conversation, right?
I'll tell you one thing. Trump said a whole lot worse than Billy Bush said.
Yeah, that's true.
And one of them got fired.
Yes, and one of them became president a second time.
Yeah,
so,
I'll let you all figure out which was which.
And they really play up this Billy Bush type because they're talking about women owning guns, and he goes, "I want to be around one of those women at a certain time of the month, if you know what I mean." And the Ryan Seacrest type laughs and goes, "I don't."
Ryan Seacrest type also says, like, "I'm totally unqualified to talk about this, but as a straight white male, I will plow forward with confidence and assume I'm doing well."
Yes, about a mass shooting. Yeah. Just great stuff. I do like. We cut to Turtle Top after this. We find out about this mass shooting. And Princess Carolyn. And Princess Carolyn's looking at the screen, and it has the article, and the article's titled "Killer Bee Killing Spree at Semifinal Spelling Bee." So that's where the shooting was at a spelling bee by a bee. Just insane. But they're on the phone, and he's like, hey, we're going to have to put this movie on the shelf next to that wacky vacation comedy we did about the klutzy babysitter, Hurricane Sandy. Todd's on the call for some reason because Todd's just, Todd's everywhere. He's floating in a pool. And this is where they really lean into the, hey, we got to play up the miss and mistaken. It's not just about Courtney now. It's about women being empowered. They don't have to be afraid anymore because they can carry guns. And Todd goes, when you put it that way, it almost sounds like these mass shootings could be a good thing for the movie. And she's like, no, that's not. It's a terrible tragedy. Thoughts and prayers. But anything that makes women feel unsafe might actually help our box office. But you don't want women to feel unsafe. Of course not. No, nobody wants that. Nobody's saying that. But if they already do feel unsafe, it's just the most crazy mental gymnastics that unfortunately I feel like has actually been a conversation with some of these like Hollywood executives and stuff.
In case anybody doesn't know, this scene is great. If you want another scene that is similar to it, if anybody hasn't watched Always Sunny in Philadelphia, there's a incredible fucking scene in one of those episodes. If you just look up Always Sunny, The Implication, it's one of the funniest 2 minutes of television, and it's a very similar vibe to this scene.
I've never watched that show ever. I've been told a million times I should watch it, and I've never. Have
you never even seen The Implication clip?
I don't think so. No.
Hang on, I gotta. You know what? I want you to watch that really quick.
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
All right. God damn it. Don't look at me like that. You certainly wouldn't be in any danger. So wait, the women are in danger? That's fucking funny.
We can get back to the podcast now, but that just I really had a strong connection to that Always Sunny scene when that scene was playing in BoJack.
No, of course, no one wants them to feel like they're in danger. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We cut back to Walnut Springs again, and this time the Marquis says, "Time marches on."
Okay.
Just thought I'd mention that one. Not really a joke, but just thought I'd mention that one. And BoJack brings in an episode of Horsing Around, and Hollyhock doesn't know what a DVD is, and this specific episode is about elder care, and he goes, "We're gonna learn how to handle this bitch," and she goes, "When you say this bitch, do you mean your mom's dementia or your mom?" And he goes, "I think you can pick that up in the context." I'm ready for my close-up. Mr. Dementia is the name of the episode. Ethan brings a whole old man home from the park, but Beatrice goes to go away, but then she gets pulled into it because she goes, "BoJack." So she recognizes BoJack on the TV, but still calls BoJack in front of her Henrietta, which is pretty interesting, right?
Yeah.
No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I'm stuck on the time marching on thing.
Oh, that got you, huh?
Where have I heard that before? That was in one of the earlier episodes.
A quote from... Hold on, I'm going to find the exact quote for you. Joseph Sugarman says, "All right, believe it or not, time's arrow neither stands still nor reverses. It merely marches forward."
Interesting.
And that is a bit of a theme for the season. So,
yeah.
They threw it on that marquee, not as a joke, but as a, hey, remember
just like
this.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So BoJack's a little miffed because she recognizes him in the show, but not in real life. We cut to Mr. Peanut Butter's house where they're having what looks like mac and cheese, and he just kind of goes, "Hey, you know I hate guns, right?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Although my officially stated political opinion is I respect the Second Amendment, but I think some gun purchases should require the barest amount of background checks." Which, yes, that makes sense for politicians to say.
Yep.
And she just talks about how she feels safe walking down the street with a gun. It's how a man gets to feel all the time. And, she knows she hates guns and she's sorry, but if you can frack under our house, then I should get to have a gun. And he goes, "You know what? That's fair.
That is fair.
I'm proud we keep our personal lives compartmentalized from our professional lives. And then it smash cuts to Tom Grumbo Jumbo in the middle of them arguing on his show. And he is flummoxed. He could not, they're just screaming at each other. And he's just like, like he's like Mr. Krabs in the Mr. Krabs meme. Like he just doesn't know what to do. He keeps trying to butt in and he can't. And they are just going at each other. There's a part of the ticker that caught my eye when I was watching this that says, President blasts fake news for not reporting all the times I won at ball and cup game.
Oh, God.
Which I think is really funny. Oh, man. And then the next one is White House plans rally celebrating president's glorious achievements in ball and cup game. It's getting a little too real for you, isn't it, Sean?
No, everything's fine and fun and great.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing great, guys.
Right following after they get off the air, a guy's walking by like what appears to be some kind of office or dressing room, and you can hear Diane yelling, yes, yes, fill my chamber with your powerful bullets, as her and Mr. Peanut Butter have angry sex with each other after disagreeing with each other on television.
Yeah, I do really like when they're fighting. Mr. Peanut Butter yells, "What is it with humans and guns?"
Yeah.
Which is just really funny in this world with anthropomorphic creatures.
Right. We come back to Walnut Springs again. The marquee just says, it's Thanksgiving, give thanks unless you're a turkey. So that one's not really relevant, but I just thought I'd mention it because I mentioned all the other ones. Brought another Horsing Around episode, and Beatrice is excited about it. And he goes, Bojack says, it's because you love that Bojack, right? And she goes, well, he's not much of a son, but the show can be a comfort sometimes. And he's kind of like, he's very sad by that. And we do a flashback where it's before his father's funeral. And she's just kind of berating the show and berating him. And it just, he's just remembering how she treated him because of the show, but now her saying it's a comfort, I don't think he knows what to do with that. He walks out because he's sad, goes to have a smoke, and Hollyhock comes out, and she's like, we need to find a way to have her connect you to the Bojack on the show, and he gets the bright idea of, let's do a live episode of Horsing Around. And Hollyhock's kind of like, what? That's not what I meant, but okay, and so, but they're gonna go forward with it because you know how Bojack is with his harebrained schemes. I wanted to point out that there are multiple scenes moving forward where there's just random women holding guns.
Yeah, it's really good.
Out like there's the lady in that scene sitting outside where Bojack and Hollyhock had a fucking rifle on her lap, and then outside Vim Management there's ladies with strings of bullets and guns in holsters and tied to their back, looking like they're going to war. And there's the guy, I believe, I'm trying to think of who that guy is. He was Princess Carolyn's assistant when she still worked at Vigor, but not the frog kid. He was the other one. And he's there, and he jumps behind the sign to hide when he sees the women coming. So it's like a role reversal.
Yeah.
And so we're back to Princess Carolyn. Terrible tragedy, thoughts and prayers. There's another shooting, of course. And she's like, too bad men have to keep doing that. And he goes, oh, well, here's the problem. This time it was a woman. And she's like, a woman mass shooter? Oh, no, that really is bad news. And then this just turns instantly, where there's all kinds of men on the news going, this is what happens when you give women guns. They start shooting people with them. I mean, do they even know what guns are for? And people going, I don't feel safe walking the streets because there's a man with a top hat. He's a senator, and he's like, we have to stop women from having guns. It just rolls out of control so fast, and only a way BoJack Horseman can. And it's the most effective the government has ever been to control guns here.
Do you know what this is kind of? I don't know if they're directly referencing this, but it at least feels very inspired by. In California in the 60s, when there was before there was gun control laws in California, and when everybody was very, all the Republicans were very against any sort of gun control laws, the Black Panthers started being like, okay. And so they took their guns out and they started patrolling the streets with their open carry weapons as a, like, I think they called it cop watching,
Mm-hmm.
in Oakland. But as soon as these members of the Black Panthers started walking around with their guns out, very quickly, all the Republican senators, or not senators, all the Republican, I guess state senators, were like, oh, you know what? Actually, yeah, let's pass this gun control law, and it got signed into law by Reagan. So this is not without precedence.
Yeah. There's a chart that this gun scientist is pointing at, and it says lady hands, limp, soft, flowery, indecisive. And then there's a graph and one axis is chipped nails and the other axis is gun ownership, and it like goes up, like as high as a fucking like a line graph can go. It's so fucking stupid. The trigger was designed for a man's grip and a man's temperament.
There was one guy is like, what are my constituents supposed to do? Not compliment random women on the streets?
Yeah.
Like, just fucking so incredible work. Incredible work.
And Diane's up there and she goes, hey, if you don't feel like women should carry guns, then maybe we should work to create a society where women don't have to feel unsafe. So let's roll up our sleeves and do it. And then you can just ban all guns. Or she says, or you can ban all guns. And then it says one productive legislative session later, and they're like, the ayes have it. Possession of any firearm is now illegal in the state of California. It's very, and I love when they're... there's this bit in South Park. There's this episode where the future is so dire. It's a really old episode that people are coming back to the past to get jobs to send money to their families in the future.
Okay.
And it's like a whole like commentary on like illegal immigrants and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And when they come through the portal, they're gooey, and so they call them goobacks.
Oh my God.
And there's this whole contingent of people in South Park that are like, the goobacks took our jobs. They took our jobs.
Oh my God.
And it's a really ridiculous episode. But what happens is the men led by Randy Marsh of South Park go, if we all turn gay, then these people will never be born and we won't have this problem. And so they start this gigantic orgy in the middle of a park in South Park. Okay. And the kids convince them like, hey guys, like, wouldn't it be better if we make the world a better place to be, so that would solve these problems in the future where these people wouldn't have horrific lives and want to come back to the past to like earn money? And they're like, yeah, you know what? And so they have this like montage of them like planting things and cleaning the world up and all this stuff. And Kyle, he has like a rake or a hoe in his hand and he throws it down and he goes, hey guys, you know what? This is really gay. And they're like, yeah, this is gayer than the gay orgy pile. And they're like, you hear that, fellas? Back to the pile! And they all just run back to have the orgy pile. It's so fucking stupid. And that's what this reminds me of, because they're like, yeah, we'll just ban all guns. Fuck women, Like, it's so stupid.
Well, I love that line afterwards where Diana's like, I can't believe that this country hates women more than it loves guns. And Princess Caroline is like, really?
Yeah.
That you can't believe that? Okay.
She's like, no. Just so stupid. So then we cut back to Walnut Springs, and the Marquis advertising a live performance of Horsing Around, of course. They get all the old people lined up. They start doing their episode with Hollyhock playing one of the children he watches. I love that he's wearing the Horsing Around sweater, but it's too small for him, and his gut is hanging out of the bottom. I think that's really funny.
Yeah.
But Beecher starts freaking out. She does not like this. She's like, "What is this?" She is having some Henrietta. What are you doing? And BoJack's like, Hayek's, maybe we should stop, and she's like, let's get through the first act. And so she's trying to click the remote to change the channel, and one of the other guys next to her is like, "No, I'm watching this. I want to see if this married couple makes it." And they start arguing over the remote, and he gets it, and she gets up out of her wheelchair and shoves him. And they're like, "Code Red, Code Red." And so things don't go well. She yells that she's the heiress of the Sugarman Sugar Cube Company. You can't do this to me. They take her away. It unravels a sweater lady's knitting, and then the guy's like kicking his legs on the ground. I never get to watch what I want. Just really funny. And then BoJack's like, do you think we should finish the episode? But they're kicking Beatrice out because once there's violence, you can no longer have them housed here. Hollyhock convinces BoJack to bring Beatrice to his house.
I cannot wait for the. I've been really enjoying the season, but adding BoJack's mom as a presumably semi-regular character for the rest of the season, is very exciting. I do think she's dead by the end of the season, though.
Interesting.
I don't think that I think that will be the. I think that the really like, oh fuck, this is hard to watch episode at the end of the season will be BoJack dealing with her death.
Okay, that's an interesting
that is my
hypothesis. We cut to Turtle Top and Princess Carolyn, and they show what they can show of the movie, and it's literally just Courtney Portnoy asking where the H&M is. Yeah. So after they cut out all the guns, the movie's unwatchable, and there's this funny moment where Turtle Top's like lamenting it, and she goes, well, are you gonna be okay? And he goes, nah, whatever, because it really doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the punchline there, is they've been fretting about this the whole time, and it really doesn't matter to them. Life will go on for them.
Yeah.
So we cut back to BoJack's house where they're moving Beatrice in, and our favorite bear nurse who cared for, oh my God, why can't I think of his name? BoJack's,
Oh, yes. I can't think of his name either, but I know who you're talking about.
The telescope guy, the guy who wrote Horsing Around. Can't think of his name. Anyway, Herb
Kazaz.
Herb Kazaz, thank you. So Beatrice is upset still. She's like, what's the point of watching Horsing Around? BoJack goes outside, he's drinking, and I missed a part where he basically said he wants his mom to connect with him to be able to recognize him so he can tell her fuck you. Basically, but like, if you really read between the lines, that's his way of like trying to get recognition from her. Like, he wants her to recognize him so he can tell her how he really feels. Yeah. And Hollyhock recognizes this. She's like, I'm sorry you didn't get to tell your mom off. I keep thinking about the things I wish I could say because I'm, I'll never get to. And she's like, why don't you tell her now? And he's like, it's not the same. I should have done it back when she knew who I was. It would mean something, but now she's going to die, and she'll never know how much I hate her. And Hayek's like, I'm sure she knew, BoJack. Like, but it comes off as like, he doesn't really mean that, right? Even though part of him does, right? And she's like, maybe, she has good days and bad days. Maybe one of these days she'll eventually recognize you, and you'll be able to rip into her. And BoJack's like, you think so? And it's kind of a touching moment, and he kind of hovers his hand on her shoulder, but then thinks against it and doesn't touch her.
Yeah.
But they're starting to bond as a father and daughter duo, and then that's where the episode ends.
And it leaves me so very excited for the rest of this season.
Yes. Good episode, really funny, really poignant. I do like that it's political, quote unquote. So all you people saying that you didn't like it, fuck off.
Why do they get political?
Right. Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
So yeah, that was the episode. Let's do the categories.
All right. What was your favorite animal-based joke?
At one point, Princess Carolyn says, "Shuck a duck," and the duck happens to walk up, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
That's good. That's good.
I also I believe when Princess Carolyn and Mr. Peanut Butter are having sex, the person walking through the hallway, I believe, is like a meerkat. And when he starts to hear what's going on, his eyes do that thing where like the pupils get really big.
Yeah.
I did like that too.
That's funny. I think I'll steal yours. I don't know that I had a really big like animal beast joke in this episode. Okay. I do like that the bear nurse never talks.
Yeah, just burr, 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 burr.
That's always funny to me. Yeah. What was your favorite bit? Your favorite like your favorite bit? Yeah.
I'm a big fan of anytime they make like a pop music joke, and so I got to go with the pumped up kicks.
Oh, that is a good one.
That's my favorite.
I think Todd in general this episode is in like top form of
He doesn't get a lot of time, but he comes off the bench and hits a bunch of shots, and in a short period of time.
Yeah. And then do you have a favorite quote?
I do like we didn't really talk about it, but I do like Bojack's like, hey, can you recommend another facility for my mother? And the doctor goes, frankly, at your mother's situation, she doesn't have much time left. I recommend she spends it surrounded by people who care about her. And Bojack goes, okay, who are they? Do you have their phone number? I think that's really funny.
Yeah. I don't know why I really like this line, but I do. And it's in the flashback when it's Bojack and his mom on their way to his father's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, his mom has a line, you always could play the full Bojack.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of sums up how she feels about him, right? In one very small but very poignant line,
Yeah, that line really stuck with me. I liked that one.
So next episode is called Stupid Piece of Shit.
Okay.
And it's a 9.2 out of 10 on IMDb.
Okay.
Surrounded by family, Bojack spirals into self-loathing. Princess Carolyn and Rutabaga Rabinowitz plan Courtney and Todd's sham wedding.
Rutabaga.
And I have said previously that this is my favorite episode of BoJack Horseman. I don't know that I'll walk that back or not by the time we finish, but it's at worst it's a top 3 episode for me.
Man, I'm very excited to watch it.
It just does. The writing is very. I'm not going to say more about it. I don't want to set any expectations for you other than that. So I want. Okay. I just want you to see it. So
I'm very excited.
Yeah, I am too. Because I also, and I've said this multiple times, this is kind of where the season starts to really cook. And you were right to say, oh, his mom moving in is like that I'm very excited to see that, because it is a turning point for a lot of this stuff. So
I can't wait.
All right. Well, Sean, where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter at Sean_AFK.
I'm on Twitter at SpikeGhetti Bros and on Twitch at twitch.tv/Super SpikeGhetti Bros. And so thank you so much for listening and watching. We will see you guys next week.
Suck a dick, dumb shits!
Nice job, Sean.
I thought you were going to say more. I didn't think that was going to be the end.
He said, suck a dick, dumb shits.
I didn't realize it was my time. I was Todd running in to play the triangle.
You nailed it, buddy. Bye, everybody.